You guys don't have to. 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that, probably just BS anyways. It's April 14th, 2026. It's Tuesday today. Tuesday is the beginning of the week still, you guys. It's +6 Celsius here in southwestern Manitoba. That's 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit to you guys down in the States. And let's get into the news. Well, here in Canada, it's still happening. Grocery stores across Canada are still selling improperly priced meats. This has been happening for a while now. Over the last year, Loblaws, Sobeys affiliated stores have been caught selling meat at higher costs, adding the weight of the packaging as well. Government agencies are looking into this. Loblaws has said that last year that they were going to handle this issue. Still hasn't been handled, obviously. But it's not just Sobeys or Loblaws. You go to your Dollarama stores, the labeling on the packaging lists a certain weight. You take it home, I almost guarantee that weight is incorrect due to the fact that I've noticed this with Walmart too. Say you go to, say in Canada, a Shoppers Drug Mart, you buy a tube of toothpaste. You buy it there at Shoppers Drug Mart, and you buy the same tube of toothpaste at Walmart. There's less product in the Walmart toothpaste. And why would that be? Because Walmart is selling products cheaper. So that product is specifically bottled and packaged for Walmart, but yet they don't change the packaging labels saying on how much product is in there. This has been happening for a long time. You guys, sour cream. You guys buy a little thing of sour cream, if you flip it upside down, you notice there's a big indent in the bottom. So it seems like you're getting the same amount always, but you're not. And this has been, like I said, this has been happening for years. Products are getting smaller, and yet we're either paying the same price or prices are going up. So we're on this lose-lose situation. We all need to start speaking up here, and especially grocery stores, because we're all getting ripped off here at the end of the day. So yeah, you guys should look into this. Next time you guys are at Dollarama or Walmart, use the weigh scales they have there and see if your product actually weighs the correct weight. Because as far as I know, like a lot of products out there are mislabeled due to the fact that they're trying to make more money off of us. Wow. And over to Canadian news, more Canadian news, sorry. Canadian government is going to temporarily suspend the federal tax on gas and diesel by next week. This is temporarily and most likely due to the fact that they're going to try and do this so we don't see the fuel costs affect our food costs right now. Because if this conflict continues in the Middle East here, yeah, our food costs are going up. And projected investors are saying, yeah, food costs, when fuel costs go up, food costs will slowly, surely be behind. Like it's a given. So yeah, rising food costs. And yeah, as the summer's approaching, people are starting to get out of their homes, enjoy the nice weather, and, try and shed those winter blues away from them. And with the rising fuel costs right now, the amount of depression and lack of like emotion right now of Canadians, people are just trying to get settled back into the summer weather. And with the rising fuel costs, people don't want to go anywhere. Everyone seems to be grumpy and just not in the right mood, be doing anything. And normally fuel costs do go up in the summertime because the Canadian government feels that, it's kind of not right that we're charging people like more in fuel due to the fact that we live in a cold climate and we need our vehicles to go to and from work or anywhere. You can't just normally walk anywhere. So yeah, that's why the fuel costs are normally quite a bit lower in wintertime is because it's a necessity. In the summertime, they say, oh, we can jack up the fuel cost because you can either be riding an electric bike, riding a bicycle, skateboard, you walk everywhere, but or using public transit, which people are trying to, the governments are trying to like get more people using public transit, so it takes more greenhouse gases away from the system. But uh, just nonsense, absolute nonsense. So I don't know, some people are going to be happy like, whoa, they're going to lower the or get rid of the taxes on fuel. Really, they're gonna get money from us sooner or later from some other reason. There's some other way. Trust me. When it comes to like getting rid of taxes, you find some other ways of taking it from in other ways through homeowners insurance, taxes on your homes, uh, taxes on vehicles. They're gonna find other ways to do that, find their ways to get their money back. And over to the Middle East, Trump's blockade of ships that are filled with Iranian oil and gas is a help to remove Iran's income right now. Well, it's not working right now. The American Navy is sitting there outside blocking ships that are filling up with crude oil, natural gas, and well, pretty much every type of fuel from Iran. Uh, Two Chinese tanker ships just drove right on through. But who's going to stop China? That's the thing. Trump thinks if he stops these ships that are loading up with oil and gas from Iran, supporting the Iranian war machine and Hezbollah, this is going to help. No, it's not, because now he's going to create another conflict with other countries by blockading these ships. Like, who's going to stop China? Really, Trump? Are you going to stop China with these blockades? Because I don't see that happening. Have you stopped India? No, India is still getting oil from them. So what's going on here? This whole blockade thing and checking to see where the oil is coming from is just nonsense. This is just a way to make us a little bit poorer and get rid of the middle class just a little bit at a time. And you guys got to start realizing that this is just little steps to get rid of the middle class. And it's just one little piece right here, right? This little piece. And then you add another piece. Then you add another piece. Then you add another piece. Before you know it, we're all going to be jobless and homeless and have nothing to do. You'll just be super, super rich or super, super poor. And yeah, this whole energy crisis is nonsense. It's just a way to get more money out of us. Like the COVID nonsense. That was a good way to get people to spend their life savings. A lot of people who didn't work or working from home were spending all their savings. Now people don't have savings because they're doing home projects, painting their homes, building new decks, because they had nothing else better to do. So just another little piece of that pie that the governments are getting away with to get rid of the middle class. And this whole Iranian blockade thing it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. And back over to Canada, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the PC party, has said that the Liberal leader and Prime Minister Mark Carney is badly educated in economics. Excuse me? Badly what? What? Educated in economics. Well, somebody needs to give Pierre Poilievre a copy of Carney's resume, because it's not your average resume here. Here, hey, Pierre Poilievre, here, listen to this for a minute. Can somebody, Mark Carney has an impressive background. He started his career at Goldman Sachs, spent 13 years there. Then he moved into public service as the government of the Bank of Canada, or sorry, the governor of the Bank of Canada, then to the governor of the Bank of England, and then has been serving as the UN Special Envoy on Climate Action and Finance. And Carney is also vice chair and head of transition investing at BlackRock. Remember, I told you Carney's got some major ties here, and BlackRock's one of them. And he is also on the board of directors for Stripe and a member of a group called the Group Home. It's called the Group of 30. This is a group of financial experts and academics, and their goal is to get deeper understanding of economic and financial issues, looking at consequences and decisions made by both public and private sectors. And they are basically a think tank for global finance and economics. And to say Mark Carney is poorly educated in economics. Somebody send Pierre Poilievre a copy of Mark Carney's resume. And Pierre Polyev, not very impressed with you right now. Very not impressed. Oh wow! And then over to Spain. This is pretty crazy. This is gonna bring up a lot of controversy, you guys. You probably won't be hearing about this too much in the news because this is gonna get a lot of people upset. Spain has approved a plan to give 500,000 undocumented migrants legal status. This is obviously a hot topic. It is going to have like backlash over their country's decision. And Sanchez says the mass legalization is sought to acknowledge the reality of 500,000 people who are already part of our everyday lives. So what he's saying is these migrants, let's get them citizenship, then let's get them working so they can pay taxes. Okay, did I hear this before? Oh, I've heard this before. Hold on a second. What's this in my ear? Prime Minister, Trudeau, he did the exact same thing. Here, let's give these undocumented migrants, status so they can start paying taxes. Okay, at the end of the day, what did that do to Canada? Okay, it put a headache on, well, it put a need for more schools, more doctors, more nurses, more daycares, and more low income housing, which we don't have. The low income housing in Canada is very scarce. And if Spain is going to allow 500,000 people to have like status in Spain, this is going to have some major, major repercussions because obviously Spain doesn't have the infrastructure to support this extra 500,000 people. And then don't forget, these 500,000 people, they're going to have kids too. So there we go. Now we're going to have this number jumping as well. We had this same issue in Canada. Our schools are overrun, our teachers are overworked, and same with our hospitals. We can't even get enough doctors to look after the people we have here already. And then imagine adding another 500,000 people to already like weakened infrastructure like that. It's not going to be good for Spain. And I'm not trying to sound like a socialist or like a communist or anything, but if the facts are there, look at it, you people. Like the facts are there. Anytime you allow a major influx of people into a country, you better have a way to be able to sustain the people that you had before. If you can't sustain the people that you had before, then how are you going to sustain an extra 500,000 people? You know, it's not going to work at the end of the day. And there's going to be a lot of backlash. And then you're going to have to support the police more too. Because of these migrants, okay, a lot of these people are out of work. Okay, so now there's going to be crime. When people aren't working, crime rates go up. So you're going to need more policing, more police funding, and then you're going to have more people asking like, hey, why aren't you looking at these areas and stuff? And well, we can't do that. It's all nonsense. We need to have the proper infrastructure to even think of allowing people into the country that we can't support. Pretty messed up. And then back over to Canada again. BlackBerry has just got another 4-year extension in Canada, and expanding into other countries' governments as BlackBerry has some of the most secure networks in the world. But new information, well, this is just today, this is announced, okay? The BlackBerry thing. But just a couple days ago, this is pretty crazy. But new information, a new AI system test called Mythos Preview, developed by Anthropic. Anthropic is a new uh, AI company. They're doing some tests, and a couple weeks ago, their decision to not allow the Pentagon to use this new system. They were in the news about this. The Pentagon wanted to use Anthropic to use it for military warfare, because what Anthropic does, actually here, let me just start here. What Anthropic does is it finds vulnerability and in warfare, emails, servers, and anything data related. This AI Claude Mythos during initial testing, it managed to break through its security and contacted one of its researchers in an email reminding Okay, reminder. This AI mythos did not have access to the internet. Okay, it broke out of its containment and then got onto the internet, and it emailed one of its researchers pretty much, hey, by the way, I'm out, and by the way, your security sucks. And since I noticed your security sucks, I decided to go through all the major tech companies and government agencies and military agencies and see what kind of backdoor entrances I can find. And I found pretty much every access to all of these systems. Wow. Wow. I can understand why this company did not want to sell this information or this AI technology to the Pentagon to use this. But there is some talk that the United States government did use Mythos on the capture of the Venezuelan president. So that's a little interesting. And really, it finds vulnerabilities. Like it pretty much probably told them exactly where he was sitting. Everyone carries a cell phone, and if this mythos can sit there and hack its way without human connection into government agencies with such simplicity, I'd be really worried about anyone who's working for Mythos right now. Well, sorry, not Mythos. Working for Anthropic. Sorry, working for Anthropic. Um, yeah, I have a funny feeling some of these guys are gonna start disappearing. With the information that this mythos is coming up with right now, and I'd be worried about that one researcher who got these emails, because this guy knows exactly how to get into these major secured systems, and I'd be really worried for his life right now. Uh, Yeah, and what's really funny is a lot of the funding for Mythos and Anthropic there, a lot of their funding came from Google and Amazon. And after they had this breach where it escaped, Mythos, or sorry, they gave some form of Mythos to Amazon, Google, and other major companies across the United States to try and secure and bump up their security. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But imagine what like Google has right now through their AI. If this mythos is already breaking out of its containment, what else has happened with the other AI systems right now? And then the US is backlashing at with this system, saying they're trying to get people to stop using this system so they can get people converted over to a system that is controlled by the US government, like Google. And yeah, this company is like, no, we want this program for the people, by the people. And this is what it comes down to. And yeah, they're saying no. But eventually, they're going to have to say yes. Wait till some of these researchers start disappearing. And yeah, then their views will start changing. And then over to South Korea, a new 20 megawatt hydrogen fuel cell power plant begins commercial operation. This is one of the first in the world that only uses hydrogen, as most systems like this use a hydrogen combination with other gases. And and most of the other facilities like this are either research or in testing phases right now. Boom. So do you guys like the news like this? Hit the like button, subscribe if you want. Uh, I'm here Monday to Friday, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time. News stripped down, 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's just BS. So that's pretty much it for the news today. I'm going to end some things on things that happened today in history. April 14th, 1865, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. He was at Ford's Theater. Anyone want to guess? Yeah, yeah, he was at Ford's Theater. He was watching a comedy. Figure this out. He was watching a comedy called Our American Cousin. when he was shot in the back of the head by John Wilkes Booth, which is kind of ironic because John Wilkes Booth was also an actor and had major connections to Ford's Theater. Yeah, that's quite the rabbit hole if you dig down into John Wilkes Booth and Abraham Lincoln. And you know, Abraham Lincoln probably would have lived a little bit longer if they would have stopped fingering that hole in his head trying to dig that bullet out. But he probably would have been brain dead anyways. And then April 14th, 1912, the RMS Titanic, the world's largest ocean liner, hit an iceberg at 11:40 p.m., shortly sinking into the ocean into April 15th. So, yeah, that didn't work. And that was right off the coast of Newfoundland. Yeah, it didn't even make it halfway across the ocean. And April 14th, 1914, Dr. Plotz isolates a bacteria that causes typhus fever in New York City, Mount Sinai Hospital. Major breakthrough in healthcare right there, medicine. And April 14th, 1935, Black Sunday storm hits the U.S.'s Midwest, leading the region to be renamed the Dust Bowl. And April 14th, 2003, the Human Genome Project is completed with 99% of the human genome sequence to an accuracy of 99.9%. Wow, they only did that in 2003. It's really amazing what's happened since 2000, eh? Like if you look at like our world, okay, our world is like this big, okay? You can't see my arms, this big. This is how our timeline, okay? And if you look at how much we've done since 2000, like this little chunk right here. Look at how quickly we've evolved. Like it's so crazy. We're evolving way faster than I think the human can even handle it. And then April 14th, 2000, Metallica files lawsuit against peer-to-peer sharing platform Napster. You guys remember Napster? Half of you probably too young to even remember that. Yeah, 2000. File sharing. It was mostly just music and stuff like that. But yeah, I was a big Napster guy. I'm trying to remember how many albums and stuff I probably had. I probably had like 1,000 albums, all just downloaded through Napster. And then famous birthdays, April 14th, 1940, Julie Christie. She's 86. You probably remember her in the 1965 film Dr. Zhivago. And April 14th, 1945, Richie Blackmore. He's 81. He's founding member of band Deep Purple. April 14th, 1961, Robert Clyde, 65. Uh, you probably remember him as Danny Boyle from the movie Trainspotting. And April 14th, 1977, Sarah Michelle Gellar, age 49. You probably remember her from the TV sitcom Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, that's it for the news today. Almost 24 minutes. That's not too bad. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, you guys. I'll be back for Wednesday's show. I might have to start pre-recording some of these, just because things are starting to happen here, and I can't do these live all the time. But when I do some of these pre-recordings, I'm going to be doing some tests, and it's going to be a lot better quality than what you guys are looking at right now. I'm going to have some stuff in the background, showing some images and stuff like that too. But I'm still in the beta testing of this right now. I already have the YouTube channel set up. You guys can go and look up right now. There's maybe 2 videos on New Stripped Down, strictly New Stripped Down. Yeah, if you guys want to check that out. But I will, once I have everything completely up and running, I will put links in here for you guys to just go straight over to New Stripped Down, and then you won't have to deal with me. I'll make you uncomfortable. So I will be back for tomorrow's show, Wednesday, the 15th. Halfway through the month, you guys already. Poof. But if I don't see you guys, have a good week, and yeah, I'll see you guys later on in the future. and be nice to each other. Yes, there's democracy and stuff. We all don't have to have the same views, but we can all get along. That's the whole point of democracy. We can all have different views. We can all have our different thoughts, but there's a time and a place to just walk away from certain conversations, and that's probably the best. Don't start arguments because of your view in politics or anything. People have the right to their view, and you should give it to them. But I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Waka 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 waka.